Hello guys, what's up? This is ScherBR talking. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is about romancing SaGa universe. We will be talking about the vampires banner. That's an easy way to say it. It's actually vampire lady appears. This is the name of the banner, and we have two vampires and two other characters that have no relation to vampires. And I know that I already talked about this on my past live stream, but I want to do a video that should be easier to find later if you happen to summon them now or later. Well, the vampires are kind of interesting characters, but they are still designed with some current level of difficulty of the game. They are not exactly a step beyond what we have now. I would say that Leonid is a little better than Vampire Lady, but we'll be checking them. Just let's click on trial. You see Vampire Lady is slash damage dealer. She wields small swords. She has Artful Slash, that is not exactly the best one. You see Artful Slash has D power, while Smash has C power for the same cost. Doesn't make no sense. This is just a bad choice. Then we have Heaven on Earth. Heaven on Earth is actually very common as well, but this one can inflict stun on the target with an A power, so that's not a bad skill at all. It's very good actually. And in some strategies where you need stun, that should work well because it's medium chance. And the last one is the most interesting one, is her unique skill called Bloody Rage. And see, that's an amazing skill in my opinion. She has a very charming art style. I think that the sprite art is very amazing. People that love this theme of vampires and like characters that have this type of effect will love this character, I'm pretty sure. So let's just click here on back so we can check her style details. Let's just give a little look on her status distribution. Let's just check. You see that she has a very good agility. It's actually her highest status, and that's why she will work well when you use stun with Heaven on Earth. You can also learn some other skills with her E style, so she kinda is very good for stun. She has also very good SDR, but not so good endurance. So try to use her on formations where she gets in the middle instead of the front. She also has a good shot because, well, she can heal. You see that first skill, she can actually try to charm a random enemy, and shot helps her getting more healing and also to inflict charm on enemies. It's a low chance, but because she has one of the highest shots in the game, I think that it will still happen when in some content where you can charm the enemies. You have to understand that even some bosses can be charmed, although it should not be so easy. I remember Dentark being able to be charmed, but only up to the stage number 20. She also has Draining Attack number 3 that recovers her no HP. Because her Cha is good, she will be recovering this with a good chance. But she's a little frail, her endurance not so high. The last one is fired at 4, so it's the only damage ability that is because it's fired at 4. Can help a little. And if you have a skill that is dealing damage and you need to recover a little depending on boss fights, that should be very interesting. And also let's just remember that Blood Rage is not only SS damage, it has a lot of effects, and for 14 I think it's a little too much. But right now the game is like that. If you have more utility, it will increase the BP cost. There's no way for this to be simply about having the same power, more effects and same BP. They will keep increasing. And you see that she deals slash and moon damage. Moon is dark if you still don't understand how they call it here on this game. And it's SS power, so very okay. It's not like Cordelia that we got in the past that was S power, simply because it was Pierce plus Cold. And now we have an at least SS damage with the added effect as well. We have a chance to reduce the endurance of the enemy. So she can stun, she can reduce the endurance, and she can also heal by ability. She's a very interesting character for situations where you need healing. So is she worth summoning for? Well, it's only if you don't have any other source of moon damage or single targets. Actually, we don't have many on this game, and these two new characters are very good on doing that. And for slash damage, I don't think she's so good. It's more about having a physical skill that deals dark damage. So okay, this was Vampire Lady. Let's just check for Leonid. Leonid is a different case because he has two things. He can heal by his skill and also by the ability. And he's also a jammer because of submission. And we all know how important it is to debuff the STR, intelligence, or the dexterity of your enemy. Let's just click here on trial so we can check his attacks. The first one is Corkscrew, it's just the same as Vampire Lady. It's D power instead of C, not so good. You should not invest on this one. Don't awaken it. And then we have Submission, that's that important skill. Very amazing because, well, you know, martial artists, Leonid is a martial artist, have high agility, so they get even more power and will attack first before the boss, so they will reduce the incoming damage, and they are the best debuffers most of the time. And okay, you should just awaken this. And then we have Keras, and Keras is not as strong as Vampire Lady last skill, and follows a similar pattern because it's now a physical damage type, in this case it's blunt, with an added effect of moon type. So if you do not understand, the game will choose the one of those two types where the enemy is more weak to. If the enemy is more weak to blunt, it will choose blunt as its main source of damage, and if it's more weak to moon, it will choose moon for main source of damage. And he can recover the HP, not that he can, he will recover HP when he uses this skill. And it's a medium effect, so it should be around 200 and something, very close to 300 with our current levels on the game. But it's A power, it's not SS or even an S damage, it's very close to S, so should be good when you need it, but you'll still be using Submission for most of the time. That's just like when you face a specific event or boss where you face some enemies, you save your VP, then you start using Submission, then if you need some more healing, you can use Caress. But it's not exactly as good as Vampire Lady for damage. And well, let's just give a look on his abilities because they are very important. Let's click here. You see that he has fired up 3 because he also has Fighting Spirit 2. When a character has 2 sources of increasing damage, they usually don't have fired up 4. There are some specific cases that the characters have, just like Christmas Monica, but not on this case. And we also have Training Attack 3, so this is interesting because he has the same as Vampire Lady. He can recover HP when he is attacking, can be normal attack, can be skills, so that's very valuable in my opinion. And especially because you need Submission to be triggered all the time. And well, Leonid competes with Cat, Alkaiser, and some other characters like Azami that can inherit Submission for her Christmas style, but the Christmas style is not available anymore. So Leonid has at least this kit that's already ready to use. You can use Submission just when you get him, so that's why he's very good to summon for. But the problem is that we have also Christmas Cat and the new Tatiana that can debuff STR for 2 times in a turn. It's just not guaranteed, but it can happen and it will help you a lot for very high difficulty. But Leonid will help you as well if you need more sustain, because he will be self-healing. You will not need to heal this guy if you are playing with him right. That will just reduce the needing of healing with your main healers. Okay, so now let's just give a look on his CP. So we can check for his multipliers, and you see he has a very good STR and agility. Yeah, he needs, because martial artists need default status. The endurance is not so bad, it's just the same as that. So he's shy exactly lower than Vampire Lady, but it's still okay for some healings. Well, these 2 are the only important characters here. Is Leonid worth to pull? In my opinion, if you are a starting player, you should still try to swim for White Rose. But if you already got her, you can try to get Leonid because he's ready to kick, and he is actually very useful for some time. You'll be getting a new SSI in the future that's actually very far from now, that makes him a perfect damage dealer, so you can wait for just to inherit at least 1 skill from this one, like give him Submission. But this guy will also be added to the Platinum Planner, just like Vampire Lady, so you can wait if you have Submission already. Okay, so this was Leonid. I think he's good, but it's just that he's not limited. Vampire Lady is also not limited. So chasing them now may not be the best decision. And you see, we also have Lyza, and this version of Lyza is actually not good at all. You see that she has Soulbat, Triangle Kick. Soulbat is just a generic normal attack that barely does more damage than normal attack. And we have Triangle Kick, that you see still B power without any new effect. And the last one is Thunder Kick. That can be useful in some situations. More than one character has this. Johan already has this. Johan is also very good to compare against her because Johan also can learn submission. And this Lyza, while she doesn't have with this version, she can inherit that from her game style. So this banner is good for those without any type of submission. They don't have good characters that can use Bone Crusher that also reduces the STR or Flowing Slash. They have a good option to have 2 new characters that will be enough for quite some time. And the last one you should not even talk about because Flynn has an A style. You see that his attacks is faint, not good in my opinion. Shock Rush, at least this one can inflict Paralyze, it's not so bad. But if he's an A style, he barely does damage. The last one is Screwdriver that deals critical against female, but with reduced power. I don't think he's good. Yeah, this was this banner. You see, I only think about Leonid and Vampire Lady. Sadly, Lyza is not so good. Okay, let me just talk about the event as well, because there's nothing to talk about this event as well. There's just some very small things to talk. So, okay, let me go here. Event, Vampire Lady appears, and you see, this event has way less stages. It feels like... So, when you take a look on this shot, it's actually, I think, the worst shot from an event so far. It's just that they don't have many things to offer. You have this equipment here called the Gold Silver Armor. Is very close to an armor for Force of Mystery. But usually we have a reduced agility. This one actually reduces the will, but increases love and endurance. So it's an armor for the vampires because they can get some love, but only 1 point won't make so much of a difference. And the Prideful Dominion, it increases chance, so they can increase even more their healings, but at the cost of 2 points on agility. But there's 1 STR as well. That should be better even more for the Vampire Lady, in my opinion. And some pieces for those that summon it for the characters, that will help you at all. And Orange Gel, this one is very important because we need that for Awakening. So, in my opinion, this is the only really important item from this event, and you can farm this very, very fast. The equipment is okay for you to collect, but I don't think they are so good. And we have some more pieces for the past styles from Leonid and Vampire Lady. So I think this event is one of those that you can actually skip if you're not feeling like doing much grinding, because we still have a very good event. Let's just go back here. That is the Seeker's Path. We already talked about the Seeker's Path in the past. You just have to use this to increase the skill level of your AoE skills, and also get some status if you're still lacking with some characters. That's what I'm doing here. I'm still doing the Seeker's Path. And well, there's just one thing we need to talk, and it's just how you defeat the last stage. Well, I won't be doing a run here because I don't think this is okay. You should not be farming the last stage, this Vassal Escort. This boss here, let's just talk about the boss. Well, you cannot even see it. Okay, so I will just enter while we talk about some stuff. Actually, this event is better if you are farming on low levels. You see that is stage number 1, on very hard, should be very okay to farm. Or you can farm hard stage number 5. That can give you some pieces for... Oh my, let me just turn off the power. That can give you some pieces for Vampire Lady and Leonid A styles. Just so you can get some more gems if you get them to level 50, but then that won't be enough. So I really don't recommend you guys farming this event if you are thinking just about getting the best stuff. I myself could be farming for that game because I have this collection problem. I'm always collecting stuff. I shouldn't. But, let's just talk about this stage here as well. You see that I'm facing 2 enemies on the first wave, 2 enemies on the second wave. They are weak to slash, at least these ones are. And the boss itself is actually a little complicated if you are not bringing something. But I'm not bringing this something because I just want to explain a little there. You see that when we oh my god, it's normal alt. This boss is actually Vampire Lady, but with a different sprite. It's very strange. If you want to just kill this for a very easy way, just use normal attacks on the first enemies and then reach here with our Overdrive Gauge very close to max. you see that she didn't use her signature skill. Her signature skill, let's check, it's a skill that can make everyone sleep. It's Hypnosis. This is the AoE version. See, it doesn't really say that it's an AoE, but it's an AoE, and well, you kind of get for 4 turns, I think. 4 turns you can get sleep. And well, if she attacks you again, then that will make you recover from this status. So if you have White Rose, she can help with that. If she is also wearing anti-sleep accessories, you can get these anti-sleep accessories by running the Rock Bouquet Tower. I just didn't bring here because I wanted to explain. So start the battle by using AoE attacks. You see there are 2 buffs, and then there's Vampire Lady here. If I was doing this correctly, I would be having my Overdrive maxed. Then I could simply use things like Punishing Palm or not. Now, not in this case, but be used by you. And I can use Beer Crush because it deals more damage. I can turn the Overdrive if I want, but I will just leave this to the next turn. I have my Monica with Sword Ballet. These enemies are big to Pierce. I finally have Sword Ballet because I got it from her S style, so here and then we'll be using Chocolate Ball. It can even be Mega Line Blast. That should do more damage. And with Sophia, I can either use, healing. Yeah, it should be healing. I think that Mega Wine Blast would be enough to keep the enemies. Not entirely sure, so let's just use Light Ball. It's not exactly very easy, it's just that you may have some bad luck with Hypnosis. Just like that, hitting all your characters. So, yeah. I think we should just do different now. Let's just click on retreat, so that will make us win this with the correct setup. You can even bring more Dexterity users instead of just using this setup. You can also use Spear characters on the front lines, but I won't be using that strategy. Let's just use the same I'm using. I always use the squad when I'm using when I'm trying to see new content, because they can perform all types of damage. So this first one is weak to Flash, so let's just click on normal auto for now. Yeah, we just have to remember to turn off it when we reach the boss. Most problems or difficulties in events that has 3 waves are solved by just saving your BP. Just save your BP, you just save your Overdrive Dodge, and then when it's time to kill the boss, we will be able to. I think I will be able to kill it in a single turn. I think it will. These characters are a little invested, but they are not maxed, and they still don't have all the status they could because of the last story chapter. Kinda increased the status cap, but I still didn't have the time to farm them. You see, this time we are getting very low HP with some characters like this Monica. So what I'll be doing is just doing healings, probably with my Sophia, yeah, because I have to use Mega Wine Blast to the boss stage. Let's do that. This is the same as me. Try to heal when you need. Have the 3 damage dealers already with Overdrive, and then it's just the healers now. Let's just click on normal alter. Hopefully they can get it. Maybe if they want. I think they'll do it. Yeah. I think this 3 characters already enough, so you should not be playing around. I will be using Gwen Yu, and then I will be Beer Crush with Word Ballet. Maybe not. I will just be using Super. That will deal critical damages. That's because she's considered immune that. Vampires are immune that, so I think it will deal lots and lots of damage. Now Mega Wine Blast should take care of those enemies together with Light Ball. Yeah. Let's see how much damage this Monica will inflict. She's not maxed it. Oh. There's still room to improve. Oh my. 15,000. Yeah, just like I said, it was enough. So, no reason for you to bring your anti-sleep accessories, just try to do this strategy. And I don't think this is the best way for you to farm as well. Unless you see, we didn't even get the drop rewards, because you have to bring something that we didn't discuss yet. This is one of those events that you have to bring the featured characters, or else the drop won't even appear. Yeah, we have to bring either Leonid or Vampire Lady. And they are actually farmable here because we can get their pieces. We didn't summon for that. I don't think you would have these characters missing on your roster because, well, they are A styles, you see. Even their A styles count. You have to bring either Leonid or Vampire Lady to stages. Bringing the two together doesn't mean anything. You won't get to a double drop, but it's required to bring them. So, in my opinion, just bring their strong squad clear, very hard, numbers 5, and then just farm here or here. Hard, numbers 5, or very hard, number 1. That should be the best quality. And just focus yourself on getting the gem. The remaining stuff are not so shiny, and you can skip it if you want. But we still have time because, well, let's just focus on skipping that for now. So guys, this is it. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe if you still haven't, and we'll see each other on the next one. Bye.